Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to PropTech Vietnam Summit 2022. PropTech, the future of real estate in Vietnam. The premier event exclusively focused on real estate innovations and entrepreneurships in Vietnam. The real estate industry is rapidly evolving. The pandemic underscored the need for all the facets of real estate industry to embrace innovative technologies. Today, PropTech Vietnam Network is excited to have the participation of renowned real estate developers, top producing agents, association leaders, tech entrepreneurs, and investors in Vietnam. Please welcome Mr. Roy Nguyen and Ms. Ruby Nguyen. Both are co-founders of PropTech Vietnam Network to the stage for the welcome speech.
Hello, everyone. My name is Roy, co-founder of PropTech Vietnam Network.
Hi, everyone. My name is Ruby. I'm a co-founder of PropTech Vietnam Network.
So, Ruby, what is PropTech Vietnam Network?
So first of all, thank you everyone for coming here today. It's our great honor to welcome everyone, especially I think this is the first time that we have such a stellar, group of speakers and leaders all in this room. So can you all give some claps to all of us and, to welcome all of us here. So let me, give another introduction about PropTech Vietnam Network. PropTech Vietnam Network is an open, non-fund collection of tech companies, property companies, agents, and key service providers to the real estate industry. Our network is committed to ensure that new ideas and new opportunities are accessible to those involved in the industry and to mentor and provide customers and investment channels to this dynamic and nascent PropTech industry. So Roy, how did we get started?
Well, we started in 2019, and here we are at that time, and luckily 70% still survive today. All right. There we go. All right, what happened during the pandemic? Can you see the slide? Yeah, see? A lot of company actually launched and created during the pandemic. And can you guess today, what's the situation? Today, I just said that like yesterday for the 2022. Can you see the 2022? There we go. And we have our online database. There are more than 280 companies in Vietnam in the PropTech. We will share with you guys the online database. Oh, I just kidding. We will share later, actually. So that's it.
Yeah, from 2019 to 2022. What a journey that we have been through. We would like to express our deepest gratitude to our sponsors, our supporters, and our partners. Especially a huge thank you to the board advisors, Ms. Đào Nguyen, founding partner of DN Legal, Mr. Nhân Võ, who is the CEO of Empire City, and Mr. Cosimo Chang, ex-CEO of Hong Kong Land Vietnam.
And now we will have a very special opening speech to.
Yes, may I introduce the opening remarks by our founding advisor, Mr. Max Jensk.
Max is the son of Cosimo. So please give Max a round of applause, guys.
Thanks, Roy and Ruby. Good afternoon, all. As Roy has mentioned, I am not Cosmo Jenks. I'm his eldest son, Max, and I'm honored to share a brief speech on his behalf. Personally, I would like to say that all your stories about my father have been very touching, and he would have loved to be here in Vietnam, mentoring, helping, providing insight, and I'm sure all your messages of support have kept him going in this tough time in his life. So, for all the messages that have made him smile and laugh, or even pissed him off or made him annoyed, I would like to say a big, big thank you. I would take questions, but I don't have the insight my father does. So if you have any questions, please write them down, and I will get you an answer as soon as I can. Okay, so here's his speech. Dear all, greetings from 8,000 kilometers away. Over the last 2 years, your messages to me, those that know me, have meant a great deal. The group's growth, spirit, and rebounding has been impressive. As the Western world enters economic and political uncertainty, I am sure you will need to maintain your perseverance, and I encourage you to do so. For it was from within the ashes of the dot-com boom that viable businesses were built and people could jump on the ladder or jump ahead. I found the energy and interests of this group refreshing. What you knew, totally trumping who you might know, and who you know being about ideas and or money, but not about influence in the traditional sense. My ask of the group is to continue with the same spirit, and to remember as you encounter the next generation to continue welcoming them. Have a great event.
Thank you. So now we are grateful for our sponsors who made this all possible. So may I invite the representative of our sponsor to come on stage. Okay. So Topperland Corp National Corporate Sponsor. Okay. House Group, our diamond sponsor. Milton Group, Platinum sponsor. 99.co, our gold sponsor. One Housing, gold sponsor, the Century venue sponsor, and Property Guru Vietnam VIP networking cocktail event co-host. Please come to the stage. We wanna.
Please.
Yeah. Also, we want to say thank you to our F&B partner, The Neighbor, Miaoi, Zoomware, Lady Kombucha, Deliani, Cafe Amazon, as well as our community partner, Zone Startup, FinHome, Sunhua Innovation Center, Hong Kong PropTech Association, Kia.io, and Startup.vn for helping us create the event today. Thank you. So please welcome Ms. Denise T, CMO and co-founder of Mayton, our platinum sponsor, come to the stage for the sharing. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. So it is my great pleasure to be here with everyone today, especially in this PropTech event. And let me start sharing by saying that I started not as a PropTech person like you guys. I started as a marketing person and do digital transformation consult. And so when talking about the future of real estate in Vietnam, and I do believe that when you talk about how technology empower every single industry we are working right now, every business we are working right now, and I believe that the most important is not the technology. The most important thing is how each of us in our business utilizes technology to create bigger value, bigger impact to the industry we're working on. And that's also what we are, as Martin, trying to deliver. We want to make our investment platform to make real estate become more accessible for everyone to make an investment and gain the benefit from it. And I do hope that for all of us in the ecosystem of PropTech in Vietnam, we're going to do the same and deliver our dreams and deliver bigger impact to the business, the economy, and our communities. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Denise. So let's kick off the meaningful day with our first panel. PropTech has and will continue to transform the real estate industry. For a broker, the adoption of PropTech means for landlords and tenants, what are the benefits? The real estate investor, what has positively changed? Please welcome our distinguished speaker and moderators. Mr. Tu Ngo, General Partner, the Touchstones Partners. Please go to the stage. Yeah, please. And our panelists, Mr. Mark Townsend, Chairman of CBRA. Please. Mr. Ha Lei, Marketing Director of One Housing. Miss Ha Lei. Yeah. And Mr. Ming Hui Chong, Co-founder and CEO of NewMarkets99.co. And finally, Mr. Vincent Nguyen, Chief Strategy Officer of Topolin.
Hello. Wow, this is a lot more echo. Hi, can everyone hear me? Okay, I'm sure the audience can match your face and the picture, so no worries. Okay. So welcome everyone to the opening panel for today. I'm very honored to be among the experienced founders and operators in this panel. I guess to start off, Roy told me this lunch conversation that he had with Mark. Tell me if he was right. He's like, you know, though, Mark, a few years ago, used to not believe that much in technology, in real estate. I'm like, oh, interesting. But he's speaking today.
All I remember from that lunch was that I paid. So some things never change. No, of course, anyone of my age, and there is at least one other person that's probably over 50 in the room, is bound to be a little bit suspicious of new technology. So I take it as a badge of honor that
Still
I was
young,
suspicious. But now I'm fully converted, fully vested, and as you can see, I've changed my wardrobe to be here today.
So what has changed for you?
My wardrobe? I no longer use Brooks Brothers, I now use Uniqlo.
Okay. So using that analogy with real estate, what's an interesting technology model you think?
I think for me it's not the technology because I don't understand it, but for me that's important is the transparency. The thing that's missing in this market is the transparency. So if technology brings transparency and speed, then I love it. I mean, I don't know how a diesel car works versus a petrol car, but I like going fast. And anyone in business that can see something that's going to speed up and increase transparency, increase volume, and allow younger people like you talking to older people like me with a new idea, then that's great. So, you know, whether it's the tech or not, to me it's the speed and transparency, and that I can now look at 50 transactions, or I can get a document signed by 10 different people in not 7 days or 2 weeks, but in a day. So bring it on, that's all I say. And I just wish there were more people in the room of my age that could understand that and not be frightened of it.
Thanks, Mark. Yeah, I remember how much paperwork we all have to sign when we have to do, real estate transactions here. What about you, Mink? Let's take on what Mark said around transparency. What have you seen in Indonesia in terms of transparency, and how has 99Co changed that?
I mean, first of all, thank you for the invitation, and thank you to Roy and the organizers for organizing this. And despite the fact that Roy has a foot injury from soccer, I believe, yeah, thank you very much. Well, in Indonesia, the market is not very different from Vietnam. It's a very large country, high GDP growth over the past few years, and the landscape is also very fragmented landscape in terms of the agencies, the developers. And I would say it's probably about a few years ahead of where the development of the real estate industry is for Vietnam in terms of regulations, in terms of policies, in terms of capital, credit, in terms of the regulation for the agents. So we can see the same emerging patterns developing in this market. And it is true that there's still not full transparency in the market in Indonesia. However, it's easier to predict the transaction value of property these days compared to, say, 10 years ago.
And what was the driver for that?
I think digitization is definitely one. And with that, the democratization of knowledge, and with consumers being more and more demanding, more educated, requiring more information, just is no different from us shopping on Shopee or Lazada or Tokopedia, for instance, in Indonesia. So that access to information facilitated by mobile penetration, by internet speeds, and that helps people make better decisions in their property search process.
Just one more question before we go to Vincent. How did you convince the traditional brokers to be on board with that the past few years?
Actually, the credit doesn't go to us. I mean, it's the entire industry. It's all the stakeholders here who's actually contributing to the advancement of the industry, and not just technology companies. The property developers, so many of them here are building their own technology teams. We have a fellow speaker here who I just learned there's 80 engineers in his company building a new app for his organization. And aside from that, it's the agents are also advancing. We've got there'll be many. Roy just showed on the screen how many categories of startups are there. 14 categories are counted, and many have come, many have stayed, many have gone, many more will come. So all of us are contributing to this. So it's the same thing for Indonesia. What we have done is we tried to create the most simple and the most trusted platform for that country. And that's why we've been able to, through sweat, tears, and hard work, be the leading portal in the market right now. That's it. Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks, Ming. And Vincent, since he referred to you, what are your 80 engineers building?
First of all, thank you so much. Thank you, Roy, and the PropTech Vietnam team. My first time in here, but very impressive. It's very first time that I got connected to see how growth has been so far for PropTech. I joined the industry for just several years back from 2018, but witnessed a lot of up and down in the industry. Put my hand dirty from the very beginning, and for transparency is one of the key issues that we trying to tackle out from day one. Because of the fragmented almost across Southeast Asia markets, so very similar, the entry barrier for this industry is very low as well. You know, the industry is big, value is big, transaction is big, but entry is very small. Even one of my friends still on the school doing real estate from a very long time ago, or even a lady, tea lady also doing real estate. So transparency should be secure when we have more standards, we have more ruling, but in the market it's not really standards. So we came down to the solution. It's not a solution. It's just a trial, like I discussed with Ming earlier. So we try to create the interactive between parties, so the ruling itself. So if you doing something not really transparency, we will create an opportunity for the stakeholder to feedback on that one. And then slowly we will set up the standard. And then with that one, only technology can help us in terms of acceleration, the transparency.
I like the creating standards, but introducing that to the parties. Could you be a little bit more specific? What standards are most important that you building?
Well, actually, before one of untransparency in the classify, first of all, transaction in real estate all started with informative stage. That means you need to give out information about your house, or you need to seek out the information of the house that you want to buy. So the first of transparency should be started from the information first. So if you are an agent or a seller giving out the information which is not transparency, which is if you give in this one to attract buyer, and then you will console or driving them into buying different product. That's the first one, very easy to find about transparency. But then on the platform that allow viewer to feedback directly on that one. It's not just the person, it's also the piece of information that person giving out, and then started to build the credibility of information transparency first. So one of the samples that we're working forward.
Thanks, and Vincent. Jiha, so from where you are, you've probably seen a lot of data. How do you think, from a business model, you can use that data to serve the consumers in this market?
Before I start, I would like to show my gratitude and my pleasure to be here. So this is my very first time to attend PropTech Vietnam Network. Before that, I have been a long-time financial and banking veteran. I've been working for 15 years in financial and banking and payment technology field. So that I'm a virgin to PropTech, yeah? So don't mind me. I will keep things very simple, very easy to understand. So from the data point of view, I think we're talking about digitization, we're talking about speeding up the convenience and the transactional rate of property purchase and sell and exchange, investment nowadays, all thanks to information. So the information, you can find it everywhere, especially in the internet era. But how much information is actually essential? So I think from the data point of view, our role, PropTech roles, I bet you guys will agree with me. Our mission is actually to curate information, curate the understanding of the market, the supply, and the understanding of all of the stakeholders joining in the transaction, and give them what is actually needed to help them feel empowered, help them feel in control. So I think transparency is the result of that. When you feel confident about the information you possess, you feel confident about who you're dealing with, you feel confident about the company, the brokerage that you get a service from, then you're speeding up your transaction. So I think for PropTech, data model is one of the killer advantage that you must have in order to win the game. But I'm not talking about winning a game like killing others, but more like to give the empowerment to the user, all of the stakeholders. You give the power to home buyers, you give the power to a property investor. Maybe we are some of them here. And we give the power to agents, right? Agents have the right to know the value property, to actually give the advice, to actually provide the service, the consultancy to the customers. And they have the right to actually reserve their reputation, And developers need to know whether the properties they created are actually good for the market. Is it the time to change to another one? Is it the time to do R&D? All actually based on data. So I think data is actually the killer weapon, but how you use it to curate information for users, that's the most powerful implication of PropTech in this area.
Thanks, Jiha. So we've heard from Jiha on data. We've heard the panelists speaking about transparency, digitalization. I'm going to stir things up a little bit here. Jiha said she's a virgin to the real estate market. I'm new as well, but I'm Vietnamese. I come from the country. Some of us are like, oh, if a lot of people in Vietnam just chasing the next piece of land and not focusing on productivity or building real businesses. What's happening for the economy at large? Any panelists, do you want to have a perspective on how we're contributing or improving the sector? So in other words, okay, everyone here is like, sorry, this is not on the plan. I just want to stir things up. So we all, some of you are playing in the real estate market, and part of this might cause negative impacts to the larger economy. How do you think we can mitigate some of that? Thanks, Mark. I know you would answer this.
Okay. I think it's a great question, and I think we're at an interesting time when, to many people in the room, things look absolutely great. But if you maybe live outside Vietnam, you can see that the rest of the world has some interesting cracks along pretty preconceived fissures. And Vietnam is able to carry on doing what it does really well. And I hope that continues. But I couldn't agree with you more that there's a large percentage of the population that aren't in the room today that don't buy into ESG, don't buy into anything except buying the next piece of land, moving the farmer off it, and trying to get a better price than they bought it for. So, and I think it's really very important that we're able to use the technology from Indonesia and other places. But I do worry for the health of the industry. And part of it is because I have 5 daughters and I worry about their future, and part of it is because I worry where my next dollar is going to come from. And I do worry because if you've had a situation or a system that's been so good for so long, for so many people, that it's very difficult to change. And part of why I'm here today is because I want to see that change, not to see anyone do badly out of it, because it's just so corrupted and so inefficient that it needs to be brought into the 21st century. And the only way to change it is by working with groups like the Vietnam PropTech. And it's great to hear my fellow panelists saying how they're going to do it, but I worry that there's a group of people out there that not are in the room today that just aren't listening. And they see this as a fad in the same way that Cosimo talked about the .com. But I hope they're wrong, and I hope we're right.
Thank you. I can sense the frustration there, but there's also a hope for change. Before we open up the panel to the Q&A, maybe we'll go around for, except Mark, because you already answered this. For the rest of the panelists, what's the one change you want to see in this industry? If you have to pick one change, if you have a magic wand to create that change, what's the one thing?
Okay, allow me to start, continue after. Yeah, so I think I would like to continue on what I have left off a bit earlier about the use of information. So I really hope that, we as the participants of PropTech network or, whatever community it is, you have the power in your hands, and if there's one change, one simple change that I would love to see, like all of us, is to share with the person next to you, maybe at home, maybe your friends, maybe your co-workers, how to use technology in the right way. Yeah, because technology is created to help you to feel greater, you feel, to have a better life, right? But if it is used in the wrong way, it could be manipulated, it could be bringing certain advantage, unfair advantage to somebody. And that would result in the loss of the others. So I really hope we, with a cell phone in a hand, with a lot of understanding about industry, a lot of understanding and knowledge about technology, you share how to use it wisely to the person next to you.
Thanks, Yehan.
All right, if I have to pick just one change, it's going to be a tough one because we want to change a lot.
We want to change the whole world.
Yeah, we want to change the whole world.
One thing at a time. One thing.
Yeah, top of mind, of course. The change that we want would be, the synergies of all the availability of info and data out there could be utilized. So quite aligned with this. So we work forward into that one to make that happen faster, because in top and land we create a term, it's called power of choice for our users versus the force of choice for users. What we're trying to do is create very simple and small change for all the users or our toppeners, or could be anyone, to have the ability to select the information that suit them and receive it. And that change requires synergy between across industry. Yeah, I think so.
Thank you.
Sorry, I have two things. One is a thought and one is a wish. My thought is, don't use the word technology more than 6 times in a sentence, because it frightens the hell out of people like me. Don't use the word disrupt, because it scares me shitless, okay? And anyone that's got the money in their hand doesn't want to be scared. They want to be empowered. And again, don't use it. And my wish is that the next time I walk into a boardroom and speak to a CEO that owns a development company here, and I mention the word levitate, he goes, "You're the man from Levitate. What a great idea. I'm so pleased to see you."
Well, we are currently not in this market yet, and we are still researching on how we could contribute to the advancement of this market. So it's really from an observer standpoint that maybe I have one wish. And I'm going to quote my friends from Homebase here, because they have did a research before saying that the affordability index for home prices versus income is about 22.5x, 22.5x, which is actually 50% higher than that of Indonesia. So affordability is an issue for consumers here. And for all of us, I think we all we know that deep in our hearts that home is where the heart is, and home ownership is so important for us, right? And the change, and of course, due to the current situation, we have friends like from A+, who is launching a wonderful platform for the dormitories for co-living, and we have another panel on co-living later today. But at the end of the day, everybody wants to own your own house, right? So the change that I would like to see is how all of us could really work even more together to advance the industry together through more collaborations, through more sessions like this, through the healthy competition, and through adapting to the real needs of the market. And quoting Ms. Denise just now, who said that it's not just about the innovation and technology, but it's about whether we can really bring real disruptive value and bring sustainable change to the industry here. Thank you.
I think we have a very interesting panel, as you can see. All right. Okay. Mark, you still calm there, right? Okay. Time for Q&A. How many more minutes do we have? Can I have some hints, maybe? Okay, 10 minutes, so probably 3 questions. Anyone want to ask our esteemed panelists some questions? I know this is right after lunch.
Maybe everybody should have a coffee. Another one.
Or comments, thoughts added to the conversations we've been having? Yeah, Mike, please.
Hi, Mark. So I'm a dinosaur too. I'm a brick and mortar notebook person. So I was just wondering whether the panelists can just describe a little bit about your business so that we can understand, from your point of view, because I'm kind of, it'll be helpful.
Yeah. So we'll do a quick background introduction, things that we should have done in the beginning. My bad.
Yeah, about your disruption.
Yes.
Okay, so before we start the panel, you guys saw the PropTech map, right? The earlier one in the 2022 or 2021. So when I joined One Housing and then I was here, I look at the map and I was like, oh, One Housing should be here, should be there, should be everywhere. Because if there's somebody asking me, what is One Housing? Is it a tech-enabled brokerage? Is it, intermediary of the developer? Is it a PropTech? Is it a platform? I don't know how to answer, because we can be anything. To give you a little hint of what we are doing in the market, we are quite dominant in the north. We really want to come to the south because that's where the vibrant vibe, and that's where I grew up. So I love where I am. But the north has become a very exciting market in the past 3 years. And we realized that was a lane where a lot of potential and we could do a lot of differences for the people in the north. And later on, we could actually bring more changes in the south. So One Housing, we have 2 operating models running at the same time. The very first one, we're still tech-enabled brokerage. We're distributing properties in the premium segment from Vinhomes and Masterized Home, the 2 high reputation developers in Vietnam. The second operating model that we have is actually a property platform. So we provide, home valuation, automated valuation model, so people can actually, with just 1 or 2 taps, you can actually find out your true value of your home on the web or on the app. You can try in onehousing.vn and tell me, how you feel about the result. And then we also give a lot of insight generating tools for the user to actually learn about a property or about a project. So they can quickly make a wise decision whether they want to come down with their money or they want to move somewhere else. So I think regardless of what we are doing, we actually embrace the power of data, big data. And we embrace the customer insight, the understanding that we generated from data to give them the best that they deserve. So I think those are the 2 clues of what One Housing is doing for the market, especially in the north. You guys can catch up with me on my team sitting down there, talking about what we're doing, and if we can exchange some insight or learning, that would be great. That would be fantastic. Thank you.
Top and Land, I think it probably just appeared on the map like 3 months ago. I think so, about that time. So we are not officially launching yet. It's actually launching next week on the 6th of July. Any of you guys are invited by Top and Land. You can look out for me or my colleagues around here. It's going to be a launching event on 6th of July in Quân Khu 7 Stadium. I mean indoor stadium, not the outdoor. Well, from Top and Land, we create a non-biased platform for users. We define ourselves as a user-centric platform. To clarify non-biased, that means the purpose is not toward the seller or the agents, which is a lot of platform right now in the market. So users as stakeholders in the transaction of real estate can be on us because we delegate and we enable them to do the role that they want to be, the role that they want to do in one transaction, or they can select the information that's suitable for them. They can even define the demand that they have before they even started to have it yet. Because, for example, you want to buy a house with that budget, but I don't think you're sure what kind of house you need. And then from that foundation, user then can do whatever better for them on our platform. So Top and Land it will be launching next week, but we're already incubating for the last 2.5 years. We've been working a lot, invested into the platform, all the resources, money, people, and we work with many other, world-class consultancy to verify the idea as well. So looking forward to meet you on topperland.com.
Yeah, and Kwang Khu Bai next week. PropTech at Kwang Khu Bai. You are this.
CBRE is a 110-year-old global real estate service company listed on the NASDAQ that operates mainly in corporate real estate. And it's frightened the hell by most of you in the room, and they're playing catch up. But my other passion is a group called Levitate, which I've just invested in, which is an online, offline, residential platform that allows buyers to pre-order a finished residential unit.
Lovely to have you, Mark.
Not a single word of technology there. Congratulations.
Who needs technology?
Yeah, lovely to have you.
So 99 Group is a very simple business. We are a listing marketplace, a two-sided platform for buyers and sellers. Although it's simple, we adapt our marketplace and model based on the unique characteristics of each market. But overall, we provide a suite of marketing, branding, and lead generation tools for the ecosystem, whether it be the agencies, the developers, the property developers, and banks. And of course, our focus is only on residential. We do not support commercial. We're currently not focused on commercial, industrial, or hospitality. That's it, basically. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, no.
Thanks, everyone. Hello. Next question, please. Can the audience ask question that has the word technology mark?
My question is to Mr. Ming. So basically, I hear a lot, Top in Land, and of course, your company as well, who's a marketplace trying to connect buyers and sellers. But at the same time, I'm sure you guys are taking business away from these small mom and pop real estate agents, right? So would you believe that going forward, there could be a system wherein you could actually work with these mom and pop agents and actually build a collaborative model rather than trying to eat someone's lunch?
Sorry, if I get your question correctly, you're asking whether mom and pop agents, traditional brokers,
yes,
how might they approach the market?
Yes, the question is there a way to work collaboratively with these people who've already been in this business for the last 50, 100 years, and now technology companies are coming in the market and basically taking market share away from them?
Yeah. Actually, I think I'm just drawing on my own experience in Indonesia. We've been there for the past 7 years. The thing about, there are still traditional brokers in Indonesia, and they, especially in a hyper-local scenario, they work very well in a very small area. They move units very fast. But at the same time, the agencies are also getting more professional, and you've got all the big brands, all the big franchises are there. So they are playing a part in helping the professionalization of the industry. And other companies like ourselves, marketplaces, we support both the traditional brokers as well as the master franchise agents through training, through tools that we provide them. Our marketplace has training at least once a month for agents, whether traditional or non-traditional. And we also encourage the traditional brokers to join the association and to register themselves and to get certification so that they also can increase the trust that they will get from the consumers. Yeah, okay.
Thank you. I guess since any last question? Okay. And Vincent, do you want to also answer that gentleman's question on how do we, okay, we've got. All right, so thank you everyone for an insightful panel. I'll leave it back to the MC today. Thank you everyone.
Thank you. So I would like to ask, I would like to ask Ms. Roy to come and give the present to the speakers. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Robert Vu, the CEO of Property Guru Vietnam, and we are the largest property portal under bocdomsang.com.vn. The PropTech Summit Vietnam offers a great opportunity for all the PropTech players to be able to exchange ideas and initiatives. So what I'm finding is that the format is great. It's a panelist format, and it offers a variety of different speakers from different companies, whether it's property, finance, technology, to be able to exchange ideas and insights. So that's what I'm gaining a lot from this summit here, a lot of recent insights. So very glad to be here. Thank you.